Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Funny Car Chaos Live. David Rattan, the Chaos, and looking forward to a great show coming your way on International Women's Day, as we have a couple of phenomenal guests who will be participating in the Lone Star Forklift Funny Car Chaos Classic at the Texas Motorplex, presented by SoCal Speed Shop of Waco, Texas. It has been a great preseason, so to speak, and we're going to be talking with one of the champion racers that has kicked off her 2023 season very strongly, with a win at the Baby Gators, and of course I'm talking about Julie Nataas, and we will also be talking with Mary Reep, and Mary will be bringing her beautiful Mustang funny car up from Austin, Texas to the Texas Motorplex for another season opener in the Spell Paving Services Funny Car Chaos Championship Tour. And we are excited to welcome all of you to the program tonight. I appreciate our backstage staff making sure that we were able to go live and bring this show to you. And we're working our way through some technical difficulties, but in the meantime, I'm hoping you are seeing on All Things Chaos. Our Facebook page is just loaded with information that is coming to you about the most recent developments occurring in the Funny Car Chaos Classic world, as we are up to 54 cars pre-entered. And of course, not only will there be nitro burners with the superchargers, there will be injected nitro cars. There will be plenty of supercharged methanol fueled machines and centrifugal supercharger car coming out, and several new entries. The excitement has been off the charts with some of the people who are looking forward to their first Funny Car Chaos experience as a funny car driver. And of course, we're also going to have the Lone Star Forklift Outlaw Fuel Altered Association. They are kicking off their 27th season this year, and there are 20. Last I looked, there were 20. There may be more than that by now, and so we've got 74 of the highlighted cars coming for the Funny Car Chaos Classic. We've also got the TDRA, as they've announced a new class and a change in their Nostalgia Eliminator 1 class, plus the Dirty South Gassers, Super Stockers, and Hot Rods. You know, wherever they go, a party breaks out. It just happens just like that. And you can anticipate all the fun that you can possibly imagine, all taking place in Ellis County, Texas, at the Texas Motorplex, the house that Billy Meyer built. And we are anticipating a great turnout of racers and fans and friends. I've always said there's only two kinds of people in the world, and that's those that love Funny Car Chaos and those who haven't been to Chaos yet. And so we are hoping that all those who have been are bringing friends so that they can get that first time experience in the world of Funny Car Chaos. I agree with you, Doug. Chaos is great, and 12 weekends on the schedule for 2023. I was looking at the schedule that I've got going on. I've got a couple of races. I've got a race Saturday, and then we all have the Classic. Then I've got a week off, and we go 9 weeks in a row. Not all Chaos, but that's how my schedule is going to be shaping out for the first half of the year, and first part of the first half. But anyway, we want to get to our guests, and we will be bringing them online here in just a couple of moments. If we've got our commercials set to go, Darren, I would appreciate it if you could run a couple of spots. And when we come back, we'll talk with injected nitro funny car pilot Julie Nataas. Stand by.
Power-Built Tools exemplifies innovation in the tool industry. From hand tools, power tools, and even tool storage. Check out powerbuilt.com for Power-Built Tools. And remember, use promo code MMR15 for 15% off at purchase.
And there she is, ladies and gentlemen, Julie Nataas. Thank you so much for coming on and joining us for CHAOS Live. Always a pleasure to see you on the big screen or maybe the small screen. Thanks for being on the show and welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, I know that our audience has been anticipating this. And of course, everybody that's keeping up with your career knows that there's a whole lot to keep up with. I mean, your past weekend, tell us about that. You guys really rocked the Florida world down there with the baby gators.
Yeah, as of right now, we ran 2 regional races in the top alcohol dragster, and we just won the baby gators here on Sunday. So we've had a great start to the season, and I can't wait to continue this success going into the national and hopefully going for that double up in Gainesville that I've tried to do before, but I haven't reached it yet. So I'm hoping that this is the weekend that we can do the double up before we go to the Fun and Car Chaos the weekend after.
Well, I think you have no shortage of ambition and no shortage of skill to go with your driving skill, with your professionalism, and with that Randy Meyer Racing team. I certainly don't think anyone could count you guys out. So good luck this weekend as you try to do the big double up.
Yep.
So you're 25, 26?
I'm 26.
26. Yep. Okay. So you've you got about as many championships as you are years old. As you've really been, you started off as a member of a racing family over in Norway. How do you say the name of your hometown?
Drøbak.
Say that again.
Drøbak.
Okay. I
That's
will
in the
let you say
Norwegian
it twice, and I'm not going to attempt it. But your father, Thomas, a racer in FIA and in European drag racing with quite the reputation, and you grew up around it. But apparently that was really all you wanted to do once you experienced it.
Yeah, I mean, it really was. I was a little baby when I first started racing, or when I first came to the racetrack, I should say. Just following my dad around while he was racing in the European Championship, driving a pro mod car at the time before he got into the Nitro ranks of driving top fuel dragsters and a funny car for a little while. So, that's all I wanted to do. That's why I'm here.
Well, we're so glad that you are following in his footsteps and coming over to the States to mix it up in our world of drag racing over here. Success, they say, is a journey, and it's not a single destination. Take us through the journey that has you going from young lady with the dad at the drag races to Nitro pilot par excellence.
I mean, I guess it started when I first got my junior dragster. The year I turned 9, was I 9 years old? Like something like that. I was 9 driving my junior dragster. And at that time, it was just for the fun of it. Like, I really wanted to drive one. And we were just having fun. It was not about winning or any of that kind of stuff. And then I just wanted to drive more. So I got a super comp dragster. So I started driving that and started to compete in the European drag racing series together with my dad while he was racing in the European Championship in top fuel, and my little brother and junior dragster. So it was all racing at that time. And I also were go-kart racing at the same time and also driving Formula cars. And then one day my dad brought me and my brother to the races in Pomona, California, because my dad did a couple of races over here in the States in the Top Fuel car. And I really got to experience what NHRA drag racing was. And I saw, all the big names, the trailers, the TV, the media. And I remember that day or that weekend, I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, European drag racing, I love it, but it's a hobby. And over here, it's so much more. And I remember saying that this is what I want to do. And I think I was like 11, maybe 12, something like that. So I continued racing, super comp, and go-karts and Formula cars. But at a certain point, I kind of had to decide what I wanted to do. And I knew in the back of my mind, I want to be NHRA drag racing. I want to do this full time. So I quit go-karting and Formula driving and stick to drag racing. And whenever I graduated high school, I moved to Santa Barbara, California. I was only supposed to be there for a year. I'm still here, so I never definitely didn't last for a year. I started school and I started going to the races, started to network and hang around with my friend Johnny Lindbergh a lot when he was racing here. So I got to know a lot of people, and it just kept going from there. Couple years later, I was driving with Randy. So yeah. And now we've added the funny car literally last year or so.
Yeah. So that at 11 years old, you came over and went to Pomona and experienced the big show up close and personal. And isn't it interesting that defining moment at 11 has set you on the track that you're still following, the track figuratively and literally?
Literally, it's such a special moment for what I wanted to do in life and what I wanted for my career, and I can't believe that I was 11 years old when I figured, or I guess I haven't figured life out, but when I figured out what I wanted to do, and here I am trying to do that. So.
Well, and so then you went back home, and when it came time for high school, did I see that you went to a school for athletes?
Yes, I went to an athlete high school about 45 minutes away from my hometown. So that it would be easier for me to be a race car driver while I was in school. Like, they just, instead of me having to be there for a test or, all these kind of requirements you have in high school, they made it easier because you were an athlete. So that tremendously helped my career, to say the least.
Were there courses that would help you in your pursuit, your professional pursuit, or was it more about flexibility to allow you to engage in your activities?
It was more about the flexibility. I still had all the same classes and courses and requirements. It's just the fact that they let me do my homework on the road, where I could deliver it in a week later or a week before, and they worked around my schedule instead of me having to actually be there all the time, which was great. So yeah.
Well, that works. That helps very, very much.
Yes.
A big part of your story is your family, and you've connected with another family in Kansas, here in the United States, with the Randy Meyer Racing family. What are the similarities you see, and what does the family dynamic add to your success journey?
I mean, they're always been a family that's racing. I've always raced with family. And ever since I started racing with Randy and them, I've kind of been, the third daughter, or, well, some people think I'm Megan or some people think I'm Rachel, but in that whole group of people, I'm just the third daughter that was really never supposed to be there, but I ended up here, right? So it's been great.
Well, it's phenomenal that you feel like the third daughter, and that that you've got a good thing going there. And it certainly has been a good thing going. Now, 2019 was a breakout year for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's probably when I got my first win, I would think, in Charlotte. So that was huge. I think I went to like 6 final rounds before I finally locked up that national win in Charlotte. So yeah, that was a big year.
Now, was that the year? That was the year also for a divisional championship, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, North Central champion. So we were able to lock that one up too.
That is, some folks could call that a career.
Yes.
However, you were just getting warmed up. Now, you went to Antioch. Is that in Ohio?
It's actually in Santa Barbara, but they do have a location in Ohio as well. I think that's
Okay.
where their main location is at. But I
I see.
decided to be by the beach.
Well, that was a hard choice.
Yeah,
Middle of Ohio or by the beach?
exactly. I should
Not
say
really
though,
that
I'm in
hard
the
a
middle of
decision.
Indiana right now, so
Yeah, yeah. Now you've got a travel schedule in 2023, quite a few weekends on the road, or do you fly in, fly out? What is your weekly schedule kind of like?
I fly in and fly out most of the time, but if it does make sense to just stay on the road, that's what I'm doing. So, like after Gator National this weekend, I'm supposed to fly home Monday night and then fly back out on Wednesday to Dallas. So, it might not make sense to fly home and then go to Dallas. So, we'll see.
Now you have brought sponsorship with you from across the water. Is that right?
Yeah, OTG.
Okay.
That's my dad's company. So, which he started when I was just born, I think. And it kind of stumbled up and happened with him. And it's awesome to see his success that he's had both in racing and in the business world, which I don't know. I just really look up to everything that he's done just as a business person, but also as a race car driver over in Europe.
Well, it's interesting, and you know this. You're already experiencing it both from the family perspective and from your racing perspective. Success in one area doesn't always, but can lead to success in other areas. And do you see those similarities, and what are those similar characteristics that translate from business to racing and racing to business?
I mean, I feel like racing is business, all of it, especially over here. It's not all just fun and games, it's the real world of business going on.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
There's times when you're at the racetrack and things don't always go your way, and it's one thing to be the champion and it looks like everything is always going right for you. However, you have experienced something a little bit more relatable to the masses, kind of last year with the injected funny car, just unable to get it off the line.
That was frustrating. I think it was probably more frustrating to Randy than it was for me. But it was frustrating for all of us. But I've never seen Randy so, literally scratching his head and being like, what in the world is going on? Like, we didn't think it was going to be this hard. Like, we know something is wrong, but we couldn't quite figure out what it was. But now that he has this thing, I think it's going to be a good car. It's going to be something fun to race. So far it has been. So, and now it's fun again. It's a fun project, not just frustrating.
Well, and I don't bring it up to harp on a bad day at the races, which is a bad day at the races is better than a good day a lot of other places. Yes. But there's a lot of people were pulling for you and Randy and the team because they knew that you were doing everything you could to kind of be one of the new pioneers, if you will, to try out this injected nitro combination. Now, what kind of a rocket ship ride was it this year when you just made the pass recently in that injected nitro funny car?
It was a lot more different. And when we were in Texas last year and we didn't make it down the racetrack, we had so many people in our pits watching online, trying to see what we're doing and how this is going. For the first time in my career, I had so many people come up to me face to face, literally saying mean things to me, telling me how I can't drive a funny car because I've always driven a dragster, which some people clearly don't know my background in racing, but it was so much more different going into Houston and testing. And we knew we just wanted that race car to go down the racetrack. And I knew that for me, having all these people saying that I can't do this, I was like, I'm here for it. I'm going to prove you guys wrong. And the fact that we made it down the racetrack was so cool. Like that first pass, I get into the race car. We're ready to start it up. And Randy goes, well, if it feels good, just go all the way if you want to. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, it's probably not going to go down the racetrack. Like, who knows? And I hit the gas and it was going. So I was like, well, it's going. And I'm not sure if Randy was prepared for it to actually go. So I should probably let go of the gas pedal just in case he didn't want me to go all the way. But it was such a cool moment, such a cool experience for all of us to actually see that car get down the racetrack. So after that first half pass, since I let up, like, just in case he didn't actually mean it, we made a couple more passes where I let it go earlier. So we ran in the 560s. So that was really cool. We have a good starting point, and I think this year in Funny Car Chaos is going to be a lot of fun. We still have some more things to try, and I'm still a new driver to this funny car, so I'm not as experienced in it as I am in a dragster, but I think that's fun. I want this learning experience. I want something that is different because I am so comfortable in the dragster, and I want to expand on my driving skills. So I think it's going to be great for all of us. Honestly, so it's really cool.
Well, you really got those of us in funny car land excited with
That's
that
good.
post to the 560, because that was picking them up and laying them down pretty quickly there, and the opportunity to see you guys make your return trip and have it quite possibly be you being on a horse that you can win on. That's gotta quicken your step a bit.
Yeah, we like winning over here in the Randy Meyer Racing pit, so we won't stop trying to do that until we get there. So I think we got a good starting point right now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now, working with sponsors, you've I saw something and I was like, oh wow! I was looking at your website, and I have recently tried Dot's pretzel chips. And oh my gosh, they are so good. And I don't know if I tried them because we saw them on your race car or what, but I was thinking, that would be a perfect sponsor for Funny Car Chaos. And then I was doing some homework on you, and I saw it on the side of your car. So, man, those were really good, and I certainly hope it worked out well for them and you both.
It's Dutch Pretzel. We still love them. We have them in our pit all the time. They might not be on our car right now, but we love them. We have ever since we were introduced to them. And now they keep coming out with more flavors. So, we'll be snacking in our pit on them all the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I saw the bag and I was like, pretzels, how good can they be? Right. Oh my goodness, they can be very, very good. They are so well. Anyway, I'm glad about that. Well, you're coming in on Wednesday. Will you, do you know if the plan is to test, or are you just going to make the first runs down the track in qualifying on Friday?
Yeah, our plan is to test. I mean, we only have like 2.5 passes down the racetrack. So if we can test, we will test. So we definitely will this week. Our plan is to do so. So yeah, we'll be testing.
Excellent. Well, this has been fun. You're doing a remarkable job out there, continuing to build a powerful resume as a professional person with a skill set to help companies fulfill their missions in the business world. And we're glad that you're doing some of your best work in the world of Funny Car Chaos and Nitro Chaos. It's really a thrill to have you be a part of what we've got going on. We hope to see you often in 2023, whether it's in the funny car or whether it's in the dragster. We really look forward to seeing you and having you greet your fans that you began to make last year at the 2 events. And so again, thank you so much for tuning in, for plugging in with us tonight and giving us a chance to get to know Julie a little bit better.
Thanks for having me. And on that note, we are going to all the Funny Car Chaos and Nitro Chaos races that we can that doesn't overlap the Top Alcohol Dragster. So it's a lot. I think we got a handful, 6 races, something like that. So we'll be there. I'm excited for it.
Well, bring lots of hero cards because I know you have got a lot of fans.
I'll bring hero cards, T-shirts, all that kind of stuff for everyone.
All right. You heard it here, folks. She's bringing it. They're loaded for bear. Come out and see her, and be sure and get by the Randy Meyer Racing pit and say hello to Julie. Julie, again, thank you so much. And we'll see you next week.
Yep.
All right, race fans, we will be back after these words from our Funny Car Chaos Live sponsors. Hang tight.
Chaos Nation, whether you are near or far, you can finally represent Funny Car Chaos wherever you are at. TheChaosStore.com is the place to visit to get your merch from the world's only Outlaw Funny Car series. And there's even exclusive deals online, as in the 3 t-shirts you are seeing right now on your screen. But it's more than just the tees. You can get your Funny Car Chaos stickers, hats, beanies, everything else. World of Funny Car Chaos there at thechaosstore.com.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Wednesday night. It's Chaos Live, and we are thrilled to have you joining us. What a great time getting a chance to meet and talk with Julie Nataas, a young professional who is really doing great things in the world of drag racing and just opened up and shared all kinds of great information about her past, her present, and her future as she is looking to continue to build on that successful run that she's been on and doing part of that in Funny Car Chaos and Nitro Chaos competition, in addition to chasing that world championship in the Top Alcohol Dragster on the Lucas series in the NHRA. So excited to see that she's #1 in Top Alcohol Dragster points after starting the season off with a big win down there at Gainesville, and trying to do that one more time this weekend and do the big double up. Hey, Alan Collins, glad to have you tuning in here tonight. And I'll tell you what, we're giving a lot of good exposure to Dot's Pretzels tonight, but man, they are so worth it. So somebody knows somebody at Dot's Pretzels. I need to be on board with Funny Car Chaos, don't you think? We certainly do love your product and giving you some free ink right now. So I hope you have been tuning in to the Funny Car Chaos, or now it's the All Things Chaos page on Facebook, as Chris and Tara have put the Nitro Chaos and the Funny Car Chaos pages together on Facebook. And of course, that's generally been your first place to go for the announcements. Hey, Mike, doing well. Good to see you. That's where the announcements are made available first. And you are starting to see all kinds of things about the Lone Star Forklift Funny Car Chaos Classic presented by SoCal Speed Shop of Waco, Texas. That is just coming up, and we are counting the days. It won't be long before we're counting the minutes as the excitement level continues to build. I've got so many cars and drivers and crews and sponsors to learn more about, so we can share the message with everybody. But it is going to be a big time. And if you haven't already gotten your tickets, be sure and get your tickets so you can have that taken care of before you ever get there, and that you can spend all your time making that stroll down Funny Car Alley, as it is going to be a show in the pits. It is going to be a show on the racetrack. It will absolutely be one great time. So one of the things that we've been seeing some of is some call outs. And we've got some racers that have been chomping at the bit to get their car to the racetrack. And we've seen some videos of testing. You've seen some of that going on from states all across this fruited plain. And we've got all kinds of beautiful new cars coming, new teams and racers that are going to try their hand at funny car racing in 2023. So we are going to take another little break right here. And when we come back, we're going to be talking with a champion fuel altered racer that's going to be running funny car at the Classic. So coming back here right after these words, we're going to introduce you to Mary Reep. See you in a minute. Welcome back. Don't you just love it on that hype video for the Classic with the funny cars doing that simultaneous dance down there in the mid-range? A couple of our Oklahoma friends with their funny cars putting on a great show with the video. And it looks like I'm trying to be joined by Mary Reep. I can see the screen, but no Mary. So hopefully we'll be able to get a picture here in just a minute, as she is going to join us here on Funny Car Chaos Live. You know, today is International Women's Day, and we've just heard from one, and now we're about to hear from another. These extraordinary women are not only blazing a trail in the business world, but they are setting the standard of excellence in the world of drag racing, and they are doing that in Nitro Chaos and Funny Car Chaos. And we are happy to have Mary Reep. I hope we'll be able to hear Mary, even if we can't see her. Seems to be a few technical difficulties tonight. Mary, can we hear you?
I hope so. Good evening, David. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I have no idea why the cam's not working.
But we will take the voice
All right, let me go here right quick. He said, go to my camera, my integrated. I don't have any idea. I have no idea, guys. Anybody have an idea? I love technical things on the fly, right?
Oh yes, and it's it seems
try
to
this
be
other way.
the day for it. I've seen Lee try to plug in here several times, and it has just hasn't happened for him. But we are going to go ahead and get this party started. I can't tell you how glad I am that you are our guest here tonight, Mary, because you have got a history that is unique. It's like no other, and I am excited for the world to know a little bit more about this young lady from Austin, Texas, who is a champion racer and wife of a champion racer, and to learn more about you and Grim Reaper Racing. When did you get started going to the races?
Well, it was 1980. I was dating Mr. Larry Reep, which was my husband of 40 plus years. And my very first drag race was with Carl Stone and Larry driving Carl's car out of the Dallas area. We went to the Houston race track, the I-45 racetrack down there on the way to Galveston. And we first race I ever went to, and he won. So I was hooked. You know what they say about drag racing? It's kind of like drugs. You can't. There's no rehab for it. So that's the only difference with drag racing.
Especially not when you win your first time out. Am I right?
That's right. And it didn't happen for a very long time. But we were so excited.
Well,
so excited.
Now you and Larry hung around the racetrack an awful lot. There she is. All of a sudden we have pictures.
All the right buttons.
All right. That is good. Robin Risch and Joe Singleton have checked in and welcoming you to the show.
Hey, Joe.
And
hey, Ken.
And Joe McHugh says you need a Mac. Well, I don't know about that. My Dell's working just fine.
Come on now, 25 years at Dell. I can't be having a Mac.
Yeah, if it was a bunch of racers and they didn't give you a little bit of static, you would think that something was wrong, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Now you and Larry raced together forever. And when did you first slide behind the butterflies as a driver?
So my very first car that I ever drove was in the early 2000s. We bought a little roadster and had a big block Chevrolet in it, and just played with that. Not a lot, because we were racing the altered all the time, and he was still driving. So I did. We just did that a couple of times a year just to get me some seat time, and I probably made about 100 passes over about 7 years. So you can tell we didn't go very often. But he stepped out and I stepped in after the last race in October of 2008. And my first full season was in 2009 in the altered. Right.
Well, and you got an awful lot of opportunity to learn from a master. And what was it like being coached by the irrepressible Mr. Reep?
Oh, I don't think I can say some of that online. I think our biggest argument ever at the races was the fact that he was left-handed and I was right-handed, and we had a converter, and I just couldn't leave on a left-handed. I just couldn't make my brain and my left hand work. So, but he taught me a lot. Obviously, I was 20 years old when I met him. I grew up at the racetrack. We raced in the All-American Funny Car Series for like about 10 years, and with some of the folks that are still heroes in the industry, the Jimmy Joneses and the Stidhams and Bobby Marriott and Terry Darby and all those guys that are still out there in the altered group. we raced with them and had a great time. I enjoyed it a lot. And then we went to some dragster racing in the 90s, and then we got into the altar then in the 2000. I think we started in 2000, straight up 2000, and then 2001 he won his championship. So we did that until COVID. We won the championship back in 2019. So that made us the first couple to in any racing series to be a couple of both of us winning championships. So that was kind of cool. And then we took COVID hit, as you all know, which kind of put a halt on everything for us. And we decided to take that downtime and put a funny car body on it. I was very anxious to drive the funny car. It was near and dear to my heart. And Chris is in CHAOS had just exploded. And so we made the decision to put a funny car body on.
I was one of those kids in the stands back when the All-American Funny Car Series was making its way around, because I don't know, in the 80s, I guess it was, that somebody at Amarillo gave away their points race. So the only big show that I got to see after a while was the All-American Funny Car Series. And that was such a great time. And when I stepped into getting a chance to see the Outlaw Fuel Altered Association and realized that's a lot of the same people, it was like, no wonder this is such an awesome series of racing. It was just outstanding. Now, stepping back from racing, you have just recently retired.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Loving life.
Yeah. Now, and you put in a professional career at Dell for what, 24 and a half years?
24 and a half years, another 5 years at Apple. I kind of did the high tech tour. So, Austin's a mega for the tech industry. And I did another 6 years with other various companies in the area. So it's pretty much always been in technology for me, but I'm not very technical.
Well, it's not all technical. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff that's not technical in any business. And now you have had, you've been advertising items for sale because, I don't know how long. Well, Larry was in racing for 20 years before you met him. And
at least no more than that, probably. Yeah, I think he started racing in 58.
Long time. And he was an inventor. And I can't say enough great things about Larry and you. But so you have gone through a process of figuring out what you need and what you don't need, and making some of that available to other racers who might be looking for some equipment.
I have. We've been trying to, streamline the whole operation. He was a bit of a hoarder and a machinist, and so I have so much. I'll be 2 years probably clearing out everything. I'm just doing a little bit at a time because it can be very overwhelming. So recently we've been doing some upgrading to the car over the winter, and so I've sold some of those components as well. They're a little more recent, but most of the older stuff, the real old Hemi stuff, we've already sold to some of the Cackle cars in the area. So yeah, but I am definitely I'm definitely in a liquidating mode.
All right, have room to operate. Now, what a beautiful car you have got. People have seen it, and I don't remember if it's already won a Best Appearing Car award or not, but it probably has, and if it hasn't, it should have. How did you go about acquiring? Was it just the body that you put on the altered chassis?
Yes. So we bought a body out of California and mounted it to the Joe Mundin mounted it, and Brad Thompson at Tommy Guns. They mounted it to the altered, chassis, and we actually made it so that we could put the altered body back on it with the anticipation that we might run both series. Scheduling just hasn't been able to do this. That's a horrible picture of us at 2:00 in the morning after winning the championship. We were in a bad way then. Because
Well, you know,
we'd
after a
known
long,
we knew we'd been the champions for a couple hours, so that was a pretty rough looking picture of all of us.
well, and but it certainly highlighted the team colors that have
It
been
is.
part of Grim Reaper for a long time. And now,
To
how
answer
did
that
Larry?
question, I'm sorry.
No,
To answer
I was
that
going to.
question, though, a good friend of ours, Lance Pelche here in Austin, has been a good friend of Larry's and mine since the 80s. And he designed the car with Larry and I during the COVID. And we really, I'm very proud of the design because it's one of the last things that Larry and I did together. And we never agree on designs or colors or any of that stuff. We were just typical, I wanted roses and he wanted, he's like, what? I want something a little more graphic. So the fact that we ended up with that turned out amazing. And I just can't thank Lance enough. And Car Wrap City is the one that did the wrap for us. And they really took our passion and our design and just took it up a whole nother level. And I'm thrilled with the design. I couldn't be happier.
Oh, I'm with you. When it comes out from under the tunnel, race fans, when you see it at the Motorplex, it is a Kodak moment. You just got to take a picture of that and not only does it look great, but this young lady does a great job getting it down the racetrack as the driver. Now you have got a great crew that helps you make sure that it's ready to rumble every time they're called to the lanes. Who are those people?
Oh, I have a wonderful group. Most of them have been with me since the altered days. So first and foremost, Nate Murphy is my crew chief. He's a family member and convinced that young man to move out of Tumwa, Iowa about 6-7 years ago and move to Austin, Texas and go funny car and go altered racing with us. And he learned at the hand of Larry for all these years. And, kind of on some of Larry's last days, he turned it over to him. So couldn't do it without Nate. Nate works every day, night and day. I mean, just anytime he's not at his job, he's here working on the car. Dennis Murray here in town is owner and runs Precision Engine Services. He has taken over all of the machine work and engine building, and he and Nate have been putting things together. I've been posting some videos and such of them working in the shop, and it's really, they've got a great combination. Vernon Phillips has been with me forever. He's out of the Lake Worth area in Texas. Joe Munden has joined the team since Larry's passed and really helped us a great deal. Rick Enlow is still with me. He's a long-standing member. He's been on cars with Larry and I for 20 plus years. So it's been great to have him. And then I've got a new youngster, Isaac, who is Isaac Olin, who's here in Austin. He's a college kid that's coming out and helping us whenever he can get away from his studies. And then last but not least is Leslie Knudsen. What can I say? Soon to be Leslie Murphy. She's the glue that holds it all together, sells T-shirts, takes 10 on and off the car, helps me pack chutes, all those things that I can't get to during the pits. So I'm really blessed. I have a great team.
And you found out that owning a team, there's a lot of hats that you have to wear, and there's a lot of time that goes into it, isn't there?
Oh my goodness, I had no idea, no idea how much Larry Reep was still doing at 80, almost 82 years old. It's just incredible. So, but it's, I do a lot of running around. I do whatever Nate tells me to do. That's what I do. But yes, it's a lot of responsibility. There's not very many women owners and drivers, and I understand that, right? It's, I think Krista Baldwin, Nancy Matter, that's about it. I don't know of many other women owners and drivers. So it is a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of hats to wear, and you can't do it alone. It is definitely a group effort.
It takes a team to make the dream come true. And
Absolutely.
I know that you've got that great team. Now, one of the one of the events on the schedule that you are particularly looking forward to is the Chaos in the Cornfield up in Eddyville, Iowa.
Yes, we certainly hope we can do that. Nate grew up in Ottumwa, which is just a few miles down the road, and that's his home track, and he's raced there for years. So we'd really like to make it. I was born and raised just 90 minutes away, and so it's the local track from where I grew up. I really want to make Eddyville if we can, and love to make Cordova as well. But those are really long hauls from Austin, Texas. So we'll see how that goes and see how the season progresses. But that's our plan right now, is to make all the races. We'll skip Maryland. That's entirely too far for us. And we'll probably maybe skip one other one. But the plan is to run a full season for the points chase. I'm all in this year. That was kind of the game plan. Get out of work and put all my efforts towards racing this year.
Well, there's a lot of our viewing audience that is chiming in and congratulating you. And I know that you just made a lot of people smile by saying that you're going to be at a bunch of the races this year. And certainly you can see the big smile on this face, knowing that you're going to be there, bringing just another quality race team to the Funny Car Chaos in 2023. Now, you've got a scoop for us, don't you? We've been seeing a little information about some call outs. So I think you've got a little something to add to the excitement.
Well, as most of you know, we were unable to make the call at the finals in October. We were supposed to run the finals against Shane Lawson. And Shane went out there, and I'll just, for no particular reason, didn't quite make a full pass. I didn't have his, wasn't on the stellar run that he'd been running all day. So Shane, I'm calling you out Friday night, qualifying, meet me in the lanes. Let's settle this thing once and for all and see who's got the best car. And the additional thing is, Mr. Ken Singleton, I'm calling you as well. You need to stand in the middle of the track on this one, okay? Because Joe is my new backup girl. And Mrs. Joe Singleton is going to do my backing up for the year. And so I think Ken's got to take a neutral on this one.
All right, race fans, you have got the scoop on Chaos Live right here tonight on March the 8th of 2023. The call out. It's going to be Grim Reaper against Man of War. That's going to be another one of those fun aspects. We talk about it all the time at Car Chaos, that having fun is rule number one. And you, Mary Reep, certainly add to the fun factor at Funny Car Chaos. There it is. You got the
already
call out
already on paper. All right.
That's it. That is outstanding. Well, I am telling you what a great time talking with you, and we cannot wait to see you at Ennis for the Classic. Thanks for plugging in. Did I miss anything? Do I need to? I want to give you the floor and let you have the opportunity to say whatever I left out.
I think if I were to say anything to the other funny car drivers for this year is, it's all about promoting our brand as racers and as Funny Car Chaos. And if you haven't taken a moment and talked to Morgan at High Risk Racing Marketing, you need to take a minute and chat with her. She has got great packages to help you promote your brand, get your name out there, get you the following that you need. It's actually incredible. So that's the first thing I didn't want to leave out. The second thing is, I've got some great sponsors, and you can't do this alone. It takes a village to do anything in this world today. Want to do a shout out to Maxima Oil. They've been great sponsors for us. Troy Green, Joe Munden, those guys are just the best. You just can't do anything without them. Tommy Guns, again, they do great. Precision Engine Services, Pro Things Apparel, CP Carrillo, all of those guys, helped me get that race car to the track. And it takes a lot to go from point A to point B. And, it's not just, unfortunately, I don't, and if I'm going to say this one last thing, if Randy Meyer's looking for another daughter, I'll be his daughter number 4. I'd love to jump on a plane and fly someplace. That'd be awesome. And jump in and get to run all these different cars. I'm so wish I was Julie and 25 years old again. What a lovely life. But, it's great. And hats off to her, man. Chase those dreams, have fun. Make live your dreams. You just got to. Life's too short. If this last couple of years has taught me anything, life is short. Enjoy.
Wow, you said a lot right there, and a great word to end the interview on. Mary Reep, thank you, and I look forward to seeing you at the Texas Motorplex for the Classic. Wishing you the very, very best to you and your crew, and thank you again for plugging in.
Thank you. You all have a great evening.
All right. Well, couple of great racers sharing their story with all of you out there in Chaos Nation. And we're going to take one last break, and I'll come back and wrap it up. So hang tight for these words from our sponsors.
Check out Twisted Shifters for the largest selection of made in the USA custom shift knobs and adapters. Made for muscle cars, old and new, hot rods to race cars, and for the big rigs. With our original shift toppers adapter for the air shifters to use any threaded shift knob like the old days. Add custom lettering and logos to make it your own custom shift knob. TwistedShifters.com. We are made in America and we ship worldwide.
All right, we're back. Chaos people, thank you very much for taking some time. You know what? If you haven't already got the chance to get your tickets, be sure and take care of that. We've got Chaos gear on sale that you can wear before you get there, and we certainly hope to see you at the races at the Lone Star Forklift Funny Car Chaos Classic at the Texas Motorplex, presented by SoCal Speed Shop of Waco, Texas. Keep up with all of our media for Funny Car Chaos, our YouTube channel. Like and subscribe to it. Hit the like and share on the Facebook, and be sure to keep up with everything Chaos related. And we just cannot wait to see you at the races. Hope to have Lee back with us when we come back on in 2 weeks. We'll be giving you a recap on everything that went down at the Classic. And of course, if you see us at the races, be sure to come up and say hello. We absolutely love being a part of this series with you. And I do mean you. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Darren, for your assistance on the turning the knobs up back there in the back office. And we appreciate all of you for being a part of Chaos Live. I'll see you at the races and in 2 weeks when we're back with the show. Good night, everybody.